Hello, I'm Dr. Sarita, and I'm an MD and an MPH with 30 years of experience. However, my MD was killing me and giving me prediabetes because everything I was taught was Bass Akwards. Everything I taught was Bass Akwards. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. Well, that's a very common saying in Weight Watchers. However, it's complete garbage. The carbs you eat is the fat you wear. Now, why would that be? Because we all know if you eat fat, you get fat, right? No, there's a step missing in here. How does the food affect your hormones? And fat is neutral on our insulin level because actually when we don't eat, we're burning our fat stores. So to eat fat is like a banking account and the sugar is like a checking account. So, and this is from Jason Fung, if you keep putting money in the checking account, you never get to the savings account. If you keep putting sugar in your body, if you keep putting carbs and crackers and pasta and fruit smoothies and fruit and shakes and protein bars in, you never get to the fat stores. So the carbs are the real danger here. So here's my Bass, and here's the danger. The carbs are what is killing us. And my MD taught me that carbs were harmless. It's just sugar. It's just there. You can have honey. You can have, doesn't matter, just low fat, low fat. Well, how come they've taken so much fat out of our food since 1970 and we've gotten fatter and sicker as a country? They didn't do that in Europe. They didn't do that in Japan. And our great-grandparents had wisdom. My great-grandfather would say, grease is goodness. And if you eat too much bread and potatoes, you'll get fat and sick. How did he know this? He did a 50-year longitudinal study where he was a grocer and he saw people from about the year 1920 to the year 1970, and he saw what was in their grocery cart and he saw what they looked like, and he had lived through the Great Depression, so he knew people that couldn't afford meat that ate margarine and potatoes and bread. And they couldn't afford butter, so they ate margarine, and they got sick and fat. He would not eat margarine. He ate butter, he ate meats, he ate saturated fat. This was the tradition of my family. But I was learning the Bass Akwards way. I was learning that was all wrong, and I was so confused. And by the time I was into my 50s, I was getting prediabetes. And, it's very hard to realize that the medical education I received around diet was based on lies and corporate interest in disguise. And I meant well, but my good intentions were stolen. Oh, it's just sugar. Oh, it's just a snack. Have a snack, have a snack. And my MD was killing me, but my MD was just validating all the horrible messages in childhood that I have and the horrible eating patterns. I was looking at old home movies. I am drinking Tang at 3 years old. Tang is basically vitamin C, powdered flavors. It's sugar. I might as well have been drinking Coke in a bottle. And I would look down when I was in medical training on women who would feed their children, feed their babies Coke in a bottle. I thought, oh my God, how uneducated. What are they doing? Babies should be having milk. Fat is our first food. When we are infants, we have fat, we have milk. That is what infants eat. They don't start eating. They're not supposed to eat Coke. They're not supposed to eat Tang. They're not supposed to eat apple juice. But unfortunately, we've been led down this primrose path of insanity. And again, the selling comes, let's low fat, here's low fat everything, low fat everything. But nobody have ever apologized. No one has ever said, look, this is not true. The American Heart Association still has their seal of approval on all kinds of food, which is leading to diabetes in our country. And I think people are waking up, but it's so hard. Who do you trust? Well, I trust my ancestors. Old is gold. My ancestors did the science over hundreds of generations. You know, the grandmothers did the science. If things didn't work, people died. And I think about generations. It's my Matryoshka doll, and it goes back generations and generations. Our grandparents' only motive was for us to live. They weren't selling snack foods. They weren't selling drugs. They just wanted us to live. But yet I was robbed because the people in the white coats and my teachers and everybody told me to snack and eat low fat. So I'm recovering. I'm saying this over and over, but what did your great grandparents say? What did they eat? And you're not broken, you're not sick, you're not defective, you've just been lied to. And the great news is, it's not about eating more fruits and vegetables, eat less, move more. That doesn't work. It's about reclaiming how things used to be before we started listening to doctors and dietitians who were corrupted. Because there's so much good food out there still. You know, you go to an immigrant grocery store, nobody is overweight when they come to the United States. Immigrants know there's something wrong with our food, and once they start eating the American way of eating, they get obese very quickly. Their kids get obese very quickly. You know, they're doing gastric bypass surgeries on 10-year-olds now. I mean, it's getting to a point where people know something is broken. So let's go to the places that aren't broken. Let's look how they're eating in Europe. Let's look at your great grandparents who ate fat and meat, had no shame about eating saturated fat, but they did have a lot of caution around sugar. I was just talking with a client today who was saying when they were eating barbecue, his grandfather would say, "Don't put that sugary sauce on the barbecue." My great grandparents would be, "Don't put ketchup on that hot dog, use mustard. That's not appropriate, all that ketchup." And I'm like, "I want the ketchup," because we were children, you know, sugar sells, sugar's great, you know, and we dress up this sugar is killing us. If you make a shark into happy faces and you know, kids love sugar. We love sugar because sugar's a drug. It's addictive. And this is the other thing. You don't get addicted to actual food. You get addicted to processed crap food, which raises your blood sugar and affects your insulin and causes you to become diabetic. Well, I hope this may be helpful. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and look forward to seeing the next video. Take care.